guess that kind of worked out.
Yeah, it did.
All right, so here's what I want to do today. I'm really sick of thinking of shit. So I want to look at what's the news, big news for today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sounds like a fair deal, right?
Yes, it does.
Also, we're going to be pushing the new projects.
New projects?
Right? The Hook Up or Hang Up.
Mm-hmm.
With all the good shit. It's the dating thing we got going on. And what project are we doing? You know, it's one of those days, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Far from Perfect.
There you go. Now, that's why I wanted to make sure that you're guesting on this one. Because you're now an official co-host of the show, so it's always good stuff.
Yeah.
So, I want to make sure that I promote that a lot today.
Okay.
I want to make sure to get that put out tomorrow. And then we'll be doing the Hook Up or Hang Up with Stacey McFadden, which is going to be pretty badass.
Are we doing that tomorrow also?
I want to promote it today and be promoting it again on another show tomorrow.
Okay.
And I wanted to have her out today. I messaged her, but I didn't get a response. So we're going to hope that everything's okay, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's all we really do at this point, just hope. Nothing but hopes and prayers and hopes. So, I'll make sure that I'm in the view well on this little camera here that we got going on. You believe I've been using this thing wrong this whole time?
Yeah, I'm surprised to be honest.
Not me. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I actually thought it was at POS, but come to find out, it's got some badass sound too. So,
but at least we figured it out, and now it's working.
Yeah, and it worked good. It worked good. It go good work good. So let's see. What is the top news of the day? Let's go for literature first, because that is my thing. All this news in literature. Boom. On literature. I'm going to talk about on literature. In literature. So, there's a problem with the way we idolize drunk male writers. A new book of excerpts from professional rogue Charles, oh my god, my eyes, Bukowski, what is this?
I believe so.
May feel frank and forthright, but we should hesitate before seeing this as an unvanished account of alcoholism, Gary Radford argues. I don't know what that means.
Me and you both.
So, I mean, I don't idolize drunk male writers. Do you?
No.
I mean, I have one of my favorite writers happens to be a man of substance, Hunter S. Thompson.
Yes.
We've read his drug agenda, haven't we?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, buddy. It's actually super impressive. I mean, if that's like your thing.
Yeah.
This guy takes it to the extreme.
Okay.
His drug schedule. Now, of course, he's gone. He's been gone for a long time now. Daily routine. Mental floss. And it was also on Joe Rogan's as he read Hunter's routine, which is insane. Let's see, the height of dissolution. Of course, yeah. But that dude had That dude's. You ever read his stuff before?
I don't think so.
You ever read Hunter's stuff, dude? Most poetic, crazy guy ever. I wanted to get his son on the show because I know there's like a really rough history there with this kid. And it kind of makes sense though if you really like look at the guy. So, all right, let's see. This is by Chris Higgins. It was published July 18th, 2016. Let's see. Hunter S. Thompson's daily routine is both predictable and outrageous, if not, let's see, if not apocryphal. According to E. Jean Carroll's biography, Hunter, The Strange and Savage Life of Hunter S. Thompson. Let's see. 3 p.m. Rise. 3:05. Chivas Regal with the morning paper, Dunhill cigarette. Right, it's a Chivas Regal. I think is a type of liquor. Let's look that up real quick. So that way. Let's see what a Chivas Regal. I think it's a type of liquor, if I'm not mistaken. Scotch.
Scotch.
There you go. Yeah, called it. So, Scotch and a Dunhill cigarette. 3:45, cocaine. 3:50, another glass of Chivas, Dunhill. 4:05, first cup of coffee, Dunhill. 4:15, cocaine. 4:16, orange juice, Dunhill. 4:30, cocaine. 4:54, cocaine. 5:05, cocaine. 5:11, coffee, Dunhills. 5:30, more ice in the Chivas. 5:45, cocaine. 6 p.m., grass to take the edge off.
Oh, man.
7:05, Woody Creek Tavern for lunch. Heineken, 2 margaritas, 2 cheeseburgers, 2 orders of fries, a plate of tomatoes, coleslaw, a taco salad, a double order of onion rings, carrots, carrot cake, ice cream, bean fritter. I got that Y right my way. It's killing me. Dunhill. There was a cigarette in that mix. Dunhills, another Heineken, cocaine, and for the ride home, a snow cone, a glass of shredded ice, over which is poured 3 or 4 jiggers of Chivas. So he shreds his ice and hits himself with a little splashful of scotch. Okay, 9 p.m., cocaine. 10 p.m., drops acid. 11 p.m., chartreuse, cocaine, grass. Chartreuse, is that a wine?
I think so.
So yeah, these are all like big people words. Let's find out. I don't know. Oh. Let's find out, buddy. Who are you? Who are you? What do you do? Who's your daddy? Yep, alright, it's liquor. It's French liqueur made available in yellow versions that differ in both taste and alcohol contents. Okay, so it's just another liqueur. It's a liqueur. Okay, so chartreuse, cocaine, grass. 11:30, cocaine. Midnight, Hunter ready to write. 12:05 to 12:06 a.m. Chartreuse, cocaine, grass, Chivas, coffee, Heineken, clove, cigarettes, grapefruit, Dunhills, orange juice, gin. What is that? Right there. Hang on, I gotta just scroll down to the actual. Well, this one's completely. Let's see. Snow cone. See, this one's got a little bit different right here.
It does.
So let's see. Hey, let's take it back. Let's rewind it now. Here we go, rewinding it. Let's go back to when he's at the Woody Creek Tavern, right? So he does his large feast there. Then from 7:05 to 9 p.m., starts snorting cocaine seriously.
Oh, man.
10 p.m., drops acid. So I guess it's the only difference. 11:30, cocaine, etc., etc. Wow. Midnight, Hunter S. Thompson ready to write. 12:05 to 6 a.m., chartreuse, cocaine, grass, Chivas, coffee, Heineken, clove cigarettes, grapefruit, Dunhills, orange juice, gin, continuous pornographic movie. continuous pornographic movies. 6, the hot tub champagne. Dove bars, fettuccine Alfredo. Halcyon, sleep.
Oh, man.
That's this dude's daily routine. See?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter S. Thompson is one of my... Actually, I have a Hunter S. Thompson shirt on. Too weird to live, too rare to die. He's one of my favorite writers. He was the one who had the style of gonzo journalism, which, come to find out, wasn't the term that he came up with. It's actually something a coworker used.
Okay.
He kind of just took price in it, and it was his thing. It's where, like, he wouldn't write about, like, say they send him to a sporting event, let's say basketball. He wouldn't exactly write about the event of basketball. He would write about the characters and the ambiance and the whole schmeckalon that created that basketball event.
Okay.
Let's see. Basketballs. All right. Ooh. Yeah, 3-0 Las Vegas, the greatest of all. Let's see. We can go ahead and crush this thing right here. So, Hunter, whenever my internet decides to not be so stupid, we go, oh, it's okay. It's apparently you can go fucking apeshit now. That's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. It's no longer dumb. It's absolutely insane. America. All right. So, let's see. Okay, so while this is loading, what the hell? So, what fucking tell people about yourself? What the hell? You just like show up on the show and you're like, oh, I'm somebody now. You can't do that stuff, man.
What do you want me to let them know?
Hey, well, dude, whatever, dude, let them know, man. Spill it.
Well, never really been on, like, podcast or anything. Trying to get out there and see, like, what all I can learn. And I know, like, learning from Albert, it's going to be really good because he's been doing it for a while. And just kind of going under his wing, it's gonna be fun.
Hopefully. Or it's gonna be felonious. Felonious activity. Yeah, so we're gonna be launching Far From Perfect.
Yes.
We're gonna be launching Hook Up or Hang Up, which is gonna be coming out with an app. I'm working on the app on that. That's
okay.
That's actually a nightmare to do the app because there's a lot of parts involved. It's so much fun.
I don't blame me one bit.
Let's see. We're going to pick out one of these Hunter S. Thompson lines. Let's see. There are times, however, and this one is... Let's see. In this one... Let's see. However, and this is one of them, when even being right feels wrong. What do you say, for instance, about a generation that has been taught that rain is poisonous and sex is death? If making love might be fatal, and my glasses are terrible, and if a cool spring breeze on any summer afternoon can turn a crystal blue lake into a puddle of black poison right in front of your eyes, there's not much left except TV and relentless masturbation. It's a strange world. Some people get rich, and others eat shit and die.
Oh, man.
Started off nice.
Started off nice and then went real dark.
Yeah, it went south fast. Let's see. I was not proud of what I had learned, but I never doubted that it was worth knowing. In a closed society where everybody's guilty, the only crime is getting caught. In a world of thieves, the only final sin is stupidity. God. Too weird to live, too rare to die. It's what my shirt says. Look at me. I have a theory that the truth is never told during the 9 to 5 hours. It never got weird for me. It never got weird enough for me. I like that. Some may never live, but the crazy never die. That's good. That dude was crazy. Sex without love is as hollow and ridiculous as love without sex. Life has become immeasurably better since I have been forced to stop taking it seriously. That's kind of a good quote, though. If you think about like today's day and age, you think about like what's going on today. Like, have you like really stopped and like thought about it?
I mean, a little bit. Not a whole lot.
I think about this stuff a lot for some reason. Maybe it's because I have too much time in my hand. Too much time in my hands. 4 kids, and if I was on the brink of insanity, someone should have told me before I fell off. But yeah, like the whole world's like completely tribal. It's insane, dude. Like people are scared to talk about certain things now.
Right.
And like people are recanting statements. Like, dude, it's nuts. Politics is getting crazy. We have an orange president who I used to watch on TV before he was president. He died. He shined it.
Yeah, because wasn't he in Home Alone?
Wasn't
he in one of the Home Alones?
I don't know.
If I recall, he's in one of the Home Alones when I can't remember his name now, but the main character, he runs into the hotel.
Let's see. Oh, I guess so. One, too. That's weird. I mean, he's Trump, though. Like, he kind of just does whatever the hell he wants to.
Right.
Up next, Donald Trump. 4 to 71 years old. Damn, dude. His accolades, though, are pretty impressive. I like him.
Yeah.
Like, I try not to... I don't get caught... I never get swept up in hype. Like, I don't know if it's hype or not. But, like, I look at statistics, facts, and I, like to drive my own theory about things.
Yes.
Is my theory always right? No. Like 99.9% of the time it's wrong. Or it just stops making sense after like the 80%. And then I kind of just babble the rest of the shit in hopes to close out whatever fucking statement I was making. Penguin seats. You know what I mean? So, but it's like, I don't know, dude, like the dude's crazy. Like, people don't like him for, they say he's sexist. Okay, like, you kind of got some ground to stand on. You got ground to stand on. You're standing on ground. Like,
right.
He did say grab him, by it. Which every rich guy was going, ha, ha, ha. You imagine Trump saying that? I just want to hear him say it. You're getting bad. You're getting bad. You're getting bad pussy. It's shining. But yeah, dude, like, I started looking at like crazy facts and statistics and going back like different like eras of like presidential campaign, like the presidential stay in the White House and stuff, and like their stats. And, like, it's really insane.
I was gonna say, if I recall, I remember reading statistics somewhere that since he's been in office, there's not been the threats of a World War III. Like, unemployment has gone down.
I think it's at an all-time low.
Yeah.
I think.
And I mean, like, people are gonna have their opinions on him, but he's doing it. He's making it better because of, there not being the threats made. And with unemployment being so low that everyone's able to go and get a job somewhere.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, like, I liked it because I figured he would be entertaining,
right?
Being in there, and like I don't know where people, like I don't care where people stand politically. Like I'm not going to sit there and debate them,
right?
Because number one, I'm not in any position to debate them at all. Nor do I like. I want people to do whatever they do and like whoever they like. But like, I have a buddy of mine that's he's a diehard left. You know what I mean? So he's like into government restructuring of funds and stuff. And some of the arguments he makes is really good. Like, oh, I could dig free college. I could dig that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm down. I don't have to pay for college. Like, I owe $52 my student loans. $52. That's to stop me from going back to school.
Really?
$52 fucking dollars. They're like, whoa. Like, I paid the rest off, bro. Yeah, well, you know you owe $52. Can I bum $50 from you, bro? Like, what's Jesus Christ, dude. But yeah, shit. Like, he makes good sense and made a very valid argument. Argumentative points but like when I challenged anything he said, and I didn't mean like I didn't get mad at him like you're wrong, you're stupid. But I asked him, I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Bro, he got mad. Like, he got pissed. And I was like, dude, number one, chillax, bro. Like,
right.
I don't care either way. Like, there's a lot of people between me and a presidency. And I don't see me running for an office, Like, I can barely keep an office of my own, let alone, a political one. Like, but he got mad, and another friend of mine, he's solid right. You know what I'm saying? He's on the, I guess, right side. And he told me that the tribals and the groupings, the gathering collectiveness of them, of both parties, has gotten so out of hand that, like, no one wants to hear shit from the other fucking side.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's stupid. And, like, for a month I sat on that. And I stopped and thought about it one day when I was in the bathroom. I was like, how the fuck does this country work?
Yeah.
I was like, who's driving this car? Can somebody please let me know who's driving? Like, I could see why people don't like Twitter. Like, any president should be on Twitter. Like, you should not have social media.
Yeah.
Like, you need to stop.
I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, like, I believe that president should be on Twitter, and he does a lot of things he does it, but he's a guy from New York, bro. Like, I'm a guy from New York. I've heard crazy shit, but, I mean, I get it from both sides, like, I understand both sides.
Yes.
But, like, I like to make the argument for both sides. Like, when the right, my right side buddy's like, yo, this stuff. I'm like, oh, cool, well, I'm going to look up facts to fucking piss you off. And then my left side does the same thing, but he gets, like, so pissed. Like, he, like, screamed at me last time. And I was like, oh, that's
He's pretty much getting butthurt over it.
Yeah, he got butthurt. You know what I'm saying? His fucking beehole's definitely in pain. Throbbed. He throbbed it out, bro. Let's see. So we're just looking up accomplishments. We do it right in the middle. So they're just doing Trump accomplishments because it seems like being one-sided. We're going to do one thing of Trump accomplishments, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to Google right now. Will be Trump. The statistic. Goal. Disaster. I'm just gonna, I love the fact that Google doesn't care if you spell things right.
Right, and then it just tells you, do you mean this?
Mm-hmm. I remember that, this thing.
Yeah.
Secured national emergency. That's kind of I don't think that's the smartest reason to do national. I understand. All right. I get the arguments for the fucking wall. I get it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I get both sides. Like, the left doesn't want us to chop it down to where it's like, you can't fucking go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, we were built on immigration.
Right.
We're a melting pot, America. And so they want to make sure that we maintain that. And maintain the structure and access to that.
Yes.
But I understand the right, where the right's like, we're going to funnel them. Like, let's not stop it, but let's go ahead and force them through checkpoints and put walls around it. And from what I understand, it's like, we got the most lax border laws, like, almost out there. Like, I don't know. That's what I've heard.
Yes.
And I didn't look it up because I could give, like, if you've seen Two Fucks Flying, that's what I'd give. I'd give that, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No exit. Let's see. Alright, this is a tweet, so it's not helpful. Tracking Congress in the age of Trump. his stats wrong. Yeah, I mean, I think that he should be behind the scenes guy. Like,
Yeah.
I still think that the concept, like, I think the concept of a president is kind of dumb in this day and age.
I mean, I would agree.
I think that it's kind of like to put all that pressure and all that weight on a select few. You know what I mean? Like, number one, the stress has got to be overbearing.
Yes.
You know, like, when I have to record a show, I'm like, oh shit. You know, like, so I get that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and then even the for us setting up how to get the right angle for the camera, making sure the microphones are working correctly, it's a process. And with him, everything that he's trying to make sure runs smoothly, it's a process. Because one group might be all on board for it, but the other group's going to be, you know, they're going to point out the pros and the cons, and then he's got to try getting them on board so it'll all run smooth.
there's so much. Like,
Yes.
I don't know. Like, you don't know. Like, you want to pick a side because it's America, and America likes a good winning. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the whole Kavanaugh shit. Like, dude, who the hell? Like, I don't know what the hell happened. Things were bad and they got worse, and then worse, and this country's not great now. You know, like, I fought for this country. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, I got a kick out of being American.
Yeah.
You know, I like being American. And, like, the whole Israeli thing, like, I don't even know nothing about that crap. Like, I don't even want to touch on that. Like, it sounds insane from both sides. Like, what the fuck is going on in that thing? I understand radicals, like, okay, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
That sounds like it wouldn't be a good thing, I guess. You know, but, like it sounds like they, I don't know, it sounds like they agreed at some point, and they're like, yeah, well, just don't asshole.
Right, they agreed, but they didn't want to discuss it any further than just agreeing to it. And that's about it.
Let's see if I can find something. We're gonna switch topics completely round gear it. Are you ready? All right. The copyright law, 2018. No shit, Sherlock. Oh, I guess something changed the ISO. Let's see. I like looking this stuff up for publishing laws and changes.
Yeah.
I like going straight to the ISO is my favorite thing to do is. But, it's really rough. Like, people don't realize that the ISO has such a hand in where literature is today.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. The ISO is insane. It's all right. So I've explained to you what the ISBN is, right?
Yes.
Well, I went through that whole thing. Now, here's where things get really weird when it comes to books, right? Here's where people don't realize, like, books are like, oh man, yeah, right, we write books, we're creative people, yeah. Like, you have two sides of books, right? You got the creative sides with, like, your editors and, you know what I'm saying, your ghostwriters and your content writers. You have them. Those guys are the heart and soul and bloodline of literature and content in general, like writing in general. People who wrote all this shit right here, web writing, you know, like they
Yes.
do that. That's them. There's another side of books that is cutthroat, Wild Westish, and inconsistent. Dude, super duper primo stupid ass inconsistent. Like, let's say, for example, all right, now let's say the ISBN, because I always talk about the ISBN, because I like the ISBN. The ISBN is the International Standard Book Number, right? Mm-hmm. That's what that is. So, like, when I hand you a book, how do I not have a book near me?
Right?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, like, if I was to grab my book, and I turn it back, and you have the UPC or EAN, right? The
Yes.
barcode. You have that, and you have the ISBN number, right? Now, did you know that for books, right? Now, I'm not talking about like stock and logistical shit and all that. I'm not talking about stores. For books, there's only one place to purchase and properly register an ISBN in America. I mean, other countries have different like laws. Britain and Canada have different rules and regulations by ISO by ISO guideline. But in America, there's only one that can give you and assign you an ISBN and sell you an ISBN.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's actually against the rules for me to resell one. Like if I go, it's AR Kaufmann is the one that actually has the rights in America, the sole holder. They have no channel partners. They have no sister companies. This shit doesn't exist. It's not fucking there, And it like astounds me. Like it literally blows my mind on how little people want to use their Google. Get off your Facebook, go to your Google, and ask a fucking question. Don't go to your Facebook group and be like, "Hey guys, is ISBN important?" I heard somebody say ISBN's not important. Well, I guess you don't want that shit on shelves. It's not your thing. Like, shelves is not where you want to go. Library of Congress is just a stupid ass thing.
What was it the other day? Your kid asked me, "Why are you always on Google?"
You can learn a lot from Google. We're in the age of information, bro. It's the age of it's the digital age. Like, why is nobody taking advantage of that shit?
Right.
There's other search engines outside of Google. DuckDuckGo. That's a good one because that DuckDuckGo is a deep searcher. It's a deep link searcher. It's like Google. Google's been around forever. Everything's tied into Google, so Google has a huge mass of information. But if I was to go over to something like Bing, where I use like deep web searching, which is like that's Bing and like other systems like that, DuckDuckGo and crap like that. Start Page, I think this one's called Start Page, some shit. Anyway, and I type the same direct content, so I type the same meta words in there, right? I'm gonna get a completely different grab.
Really?
Yeah, completely different grab. And here's why: Google skims on the very top of the internet, right? So like when you say, "I want to find out what's the best ass wax that I could buy for my bum bum," right? Well, you put that in there. It's going to go by what bots have this site ranked, and this site put by the webmaster tools, and which ones the SEO is built properly to their metadata, and what metadata coincides directly with the word you typed into your search bar, which is your metadata. You know what I mean? And then the bots can come out and search around and hit it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's called organic.
Yes.
Ranking. The better you are at SEO, which is search engine optimization, which is that crap. The more higher chance you show up as the number one slot without paying for an advertisement. Because if you do advertisement, it shows up as, let's see if we can find one here. It'll say advertisement on some page somewhere. You know what I mean? It'll say ad, and I don't click the ads because it sounds like an ad to me.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna spam myself, bro. I'm not gonna do that. But if you go into like Bing and stuff, like for example, let's do just right where we are here. I'll copy this. I typed in like literary laws changing in 2019 publishing. All right, let's go here to DuckDuckGo. We'll go there. I like DuckDuckGo. If you're looking at like ever trying to track somebody down, which we do a lot now. We do a lot of investigative work.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. If you're trying to track somebody down, dude, DuckDuckGo's where it's at.
Is it?
Oh yeah, you get all kinds of good stuff, man. It's like an in-text search engine. It's like a beast. So let's see. I just typed the same thing into the DuckDuckGo. 10 things you know about publishing laws. Binding laws, legal information, publishing contracts, red flags, when a publisher claims, blah, blah, blah. Publisher, attorney, or literary agent. See, like, all that stuff popping up, right?
Yes.
Now, do the side by side. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got Wikipedia.
Right.
Public domain.
And on, what was it, DuckDuckGo?
Yep. DuckDuckGo, you got completely different things. Yep. Like 10 things you know about this shit. Publishing law. U.S. publishers, literary agency, and publishing contracts. I'm saying, like it pulls up completely different things, and people tend to use one. Everyone has a preference. Like you have the Safaris, and you know what I'm saying. Like
Right.
everyone has their preference, but end of the day, like you gotta, like people have to be smart. Like there's authoritative commands for Google.
Yes.
Like if you want to look up something like direct and not change it, you put parentheses around it. Those are authoritative commands. Or you type in like to check out websites, it's cache. You know what I'm saying? You type cache, double thingy, bottle thingy, and website URL. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's amazing how people aren't utilizing that benefit, and that's free shit. That's free shit, dude. Like I'm not paying for this crap. Like, well, I pay for the internet because without that, I wouldn't have a job.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Valid point.
Very valid point. And I like, I like getting paid to do things. I like getting paid to do this. I'm a huge fan of what I do for a living. It's good stuff. So, now the ISO started to internationalize the ISBN. The ISBN's around on a global scale because of the ISO. Now, it didn't start the ISBN. That's not what it started. It just started out in Ireland originally, worked its way over to Britain. Britain started the SBN, and then the SBN was so good at tracking the logistics of a book for sales that go like across the seas and stuff like that, that like was like the ISO was like, oh shit, like,
okay.
like what do you want? And so they actually made the I can't remember ever in what the hell they're called. It's whoever part in Great Britain, they're the secretary of the ISBN. Like they are the secretary. Like they help coordinate all that crap. Like they are like just below the ISO.
Okay.
Who worked alongside them was R.R. Bowker from day one in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, doing the ISBNs. So R.R. Bowker got the monopoly on ISBNs. You know what I'm saying? So people who go out and they find all these little side bullshits where they're like, oh, we'll sell you an ISBN for $10. We'll do an ISBN for $10. It's actually, not only are you buying someone else's number and you're registering your book, your publication, and your like argument for an IPR under them, but you're not filling your shit out. Like when you fill out your information for your ISBN to go for your book, that's like a fingerprint for your book.
Yes.
I mean, it's something very specific for that book. Like, I'm just gonna show you directly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go directly to my R.R. Bowker account. Oop. I cannot see crap. If it's wrong, I'll get dinged. If it's not, I am amazing. Back when I get it right. Anyway. So myidentifiers.com. That's the Bowker account, right?
Okay.
And so I'm going to wait until my computer stops being El Stupido and sign in. Now, under this is where you get your ISBNs. Now, ISBNs do cost money through Bowker because they can do that. And like places like, in other places outside of the U.S., they're free ISBNs. There's like, hey, but you still have to register them through an account.
Yes.
Like my account, since we own that publishing company, and my account doesn't ever go away. Like, come on, guy. Computer's so slow. I hate this thing. But like, these are my books. I mean, like I got J.S.V. Germain, my other author, The Esteemed Princess Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
This is her book. I mean, like that's her ISBNs, and I have one per format. Like I have her paperback, PDFs, stuff like that. Literally Lost, Criminal Pursuit, which is the new one I should be working on. Words in War. Like I got all kinds of stuff in here. I mean, like, these are mine. But like, this number's directly set to that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to go anywhere else other than that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But, and like, when I go to register it, like, say that, this one right here, say I go to register that number, right? Whenever it decides to do whatever the hell I told it to. Look at the information I had to put in. The title, subtitle, my main description, which is a good way to metadata your information. Like, put keywords in that coincide with your book, my cover. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's like what people don't know. And this is like small things that like no one's really just...
Right.
So like, if you hook up with let's say like a boutique publisher, like a guy publishing for service, that's what I did, but we were 80% less costly than anybody and have the highest market impact. Because number one is the digital age. There's ways around shit now.
Yes.
As long as you want to put the time in. Most people can't put the time in. They got a life. I don't. You know what I mean? Like I have the furthest thing from it. Like I'm pretty much a cadaver at this point in my life. Cadaver is just information. So like this stuff, you know what I mean? Like they'll charge you for that.
Okay.
Which is actually illegal.
Really?
They can't charge you. You can't be charged for an ISBN. You can be assigned an ISBN. Like say you wrote your book's great. I'm a publisher. I want to publish your book. I want to put my logo on your book, and I want to get your book out there. I want to format it and all that good shit, right? I have my ISBN account. This is my ISBN account, right? I have that. I'm going to go ahead and assign you one of my ISBNs like I have inside my actual account here. Like all these books are assigned. Did they pay for them? No. I did. Came out of my ass. Because this is my account. I can't charge a penny for those. You know what I mean? But these are yours forever. You know what I mean? And it doesn't give me, it gives me publishing rights to the book.
Right.
So that means it guarantees me my publishing rights. So it protects me as the publisher. Does it make me the author? No. Not by any means. Does it mean I have the copyrights? No. Copyrights are a whole completely different fucking thing. You gotta go to copyright.gov. Like, this is not even the same site you can go on this shit.
Right.
But, like, it's insane how, like, especially the boutiques, because that seems to be the way the industry's going. People are paying for service because it's easier, it's faster, and if you look at the statistics, traditional publishers are getting crushed digitally. They're getting their asses smoked on a digital scale. Physically, killing it. They're always going to kill it because they have that relationship. But that shit's dying out. You know what I mean? So, like, the new things coming out. It's like, well, video stores. Blockbuster's dead. Redbox is in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Netflix is in. And all that crap's in. Everything else isn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's changing, and people don't want to pay attention to it, or they just want to go to Facebook and ask Tommy dipshits who I was published in a magazine. Yeah, about a mechanical bullshit, and you misspelled half your shit wrong, bro. Like, calm down, killer. You're not doing that great. Like, people don't research shit. So, you have people who will charge you for that shit. LCCNs, your Library of Congress control number, to get your book into the Library of Congress. Which, like, a lot of people say, well, it's just another way to categorize and catalog your book. Yeah, but you also hand them a physical copy of your book. They put it on a fucking shelf in the Library of Congress.
Yes.
And that's a cool thing. Like, if you go to Library of Congress. Library of Congress. Like, it's just different ways to help you, like, search. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes you more out there. It makes your book more available for things. It goes into your biblioteca better. It goes into other sites that are super more important than just fucking Amazon. Amazon's big. Amazon runs everything. That's how Amazon works. Amazon, dude, straight up took over shit in the book industry.
It did.
But there's a lot more than Amazon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's the Google Play and everything else. Like with iPhones, I want to say it's iBook. I think is what it is.
You're talking about ebook?
No, there's the ebooks, but then like Apple products for your
iTunes. You don't have the iTunes.
They've got iTunes, but I think they have a certain thing for their books.
Yeah, there's a lot of different formats out there, and I do all the formats. But, like, that's another thing. Like, people don't know how formats work. It's insane the little shit people don't know about the industry.
Yes.
That's why I loved going into it. Because I wrote forever. I was a writer forever, and I've always been doing shit on the side. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was always doing shit on the side for publishing. But when we realized how bad it really was, we're like, oh, dude, we're gonna smoke a motherfucker. But yeah, it's literally like this shit. Like, it's important to know this stuff. Like, being in the Library of Congress, number one, is it's kind of cool. And also, to get your LCCN, you have to have a PSN number, right? Which is like your pre-number.
Yes.
Shit. It's free, 100%.
Really?
No charge. All you have to do is once you have a physical copy of your book, you just got to mail it to them. So you got to pay for the help. If you have postage or whatever the hell it is. That's it.
Really?
People charge like hundreds to do it for you. It takes seconds.
It's just people don't want to look into it and see what it's going to take. They'd rather just have somebody else go ahead and take care of it for them.
Yeah, like I stopped completely. I stopped. Like, I used to go through Facebook and like pick battles with people who would be asked questions like publicly in those groups, those Reddit groups, which I think Reddit groups are great, but not for a source of fucking information. I mean, that's not your number one source. That's my intelligence pool. I know everything because of this guy. Like, what does that guy do? He's a car wash guy? Like, he's a mechanic? Like, oh, like if that dude was Stephen King or, you know, somebody of, you know, substantial stature, like, yeah, I would probably listen to him too. I'm not an idiot.
Right.
But it's not. You know what I mean?
But you're pretty much, you know, that person's getting someone they've never met or ever heard of telling them, you know, well, hey, this is how you can do it.
Mm-hmm. But they're taking it for value too.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes it's not all wrong. Sometimes they're completely right.
Yes.
But like something went wrong with this bubble that everyone lives in. Like it's stupid. Like go out there and do something with your life. I mean, like don't just sit here and expect someone else to hold the answer to you.
Right. Well, like we were talking about the other day, like being millennials. You know, they expect everything to be handed to them, but like also, and my generation, with me being only 21, you know, it's constant people on their phones. Mm-hmm. It's instead of, you know, go to the library and pick up a book or go outside and, you know, enjoy nature, whatever, it's they're in their phone.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just as guilty as I'm a millennial. So which I don't understand. Like, I guess because we were born in, I remember Y2K. I remember it very, very, like, I remember it's like, it was like, all right, so the computer shuts down. Like, my gateway didn't work anyway, so like, I don't need this thing, bro. As long as I got my, you know, my PlayStation 2 and like, my friggin' football game, my quarterback club. I think it's like QB club, whatever the hell.
Yep.
I think so. But whatever it was, dude, like, I was straight. Like, I was like, oh man, the computer might take over the world when I can't get my computer to turn the fuck on. Like, that thing's gonna beat me? That's cool. Like, I mean, I'm not the toughest guy in the world. I'm pretty sure water would win.
Yeah.
Some of that shit going around here. But, like, it's insane, especially in, like, literature. And, like, I understand people having problems, not want to write, and not, how do I get into the industry? Like,
right.
Like, what's a content mill? Well, I don't have a college degree. Neither do I, dude. And the two college degrees that one I do have is massage therapy. You point out where the bestseller came out of that one.
Right.
That was a dumbass idea I had. It's not as fun as it sounds. Terrible. Because I got it out of in Valpo, Kaplan College. I guess that's like a certificate, I guess. Even a real. But I went for psychology, but like, that's where all the money I fucking owed. I pay back. Oh, dude, they really got me. I burned through my friggin' military benefits. It's shit that I did not need to burn through.
Right.
But it's insane, dude. Like, people are so stupid. Especially in books. Like, it really is like the Wild West. And, like, we used to come out and combat that shit all the time and, like, pick fights with other companies. Because, like, they were charging $35, you know what I'm saying? They could go up to, like, $30,000, $40,000 they're charging you. But, like, if you looked at it, like, oh, we put out 4 press releases. We do 4 a month. Like, okay, so you put a press release on a site that's literally just backlinked into itself.
Right.
Like, does it help your SEO? Yeah, like a bastard. Yeah, it absolutely does. But if you're not being searched, it gives a fuck about your SEO. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people weren't being smart about it. Like, yeah, we have a list of 120,000 actual journalists that we've worked with. You know, like, we're like, oh yeah, people are like, oh, would you do press releases? I'm like, yeah, how do you not do that? Like, we do press releases now for dumb shit. You know, like, hey, you know, like, people are like, oh, we'll press release, we can talk about my new shoes. You know, like, yeah, people can get picked up by press releases. If it's worth picking up, like...
Right, if it's worth their time, if it catches their attention, they're going to want to... Yeah. They're going to want to sit there and listen to it or, you know, read about it.
Yeah, it's very, very rarely that some people... You know what I'm saying? Like, a nobody would be... And I hate to say the word nobody, but like somebody starting out without
Right.
a following. It's like, I don't have a following. Like, I never cared about that shit. You know? That's never been my thing. But, like, we do well.
Yeah.
I do well, and I have fans. You know what I'm saying? I have a cultivated group and people who come to me as a source of information because if I don't know it, I will find it out. I'm not going to look on the first page of Google. You know what I mean? Or I'm not going to go to my Facebook group and go, hey, bro, got me a toughie. Got me a toughie right now. What is bleh? I'm like, bleh. And then pass that poisonous information around like a hot potato dumbass. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But that seems to be like, and smart people are doing it. People that I know are way smarter than me, which my 4-year-old is pretty much smarter than me. But for real, it's like insane how fucking dumb smart people can be too. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it takes promoting, marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and why are you charging $30,000 for that crap? Like, you know, a lot of that can be done on social media platforms if you just pay attention to how aggregators work, how hitters work, how metadata works, and how to talk to a human fucking being.
Right.
You know, like if you put out good stuff, like if you're a writer and you're gonna be putting out a book and you don't have a blog, you're an idiot. Shoot yourself in the leg. You know, like, it's dumb. If you're not on book, you know, like BookBub, if you're not on that stuff, you're an idiot. So if you're not on like if you don't have an Amazon author page, you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Those little things that help you out, and people don't realize that. It's so stupid. And then and somebody charges them thousands for shit that's free. And they're like, these guys are the best. Like, I did that the first hour.
Right.
You know? Like, I work with like Daniel Horowitz and Rich Perota. Rich Perota is like the DC Marvel guru inker.
Yes.
All right? So they both, and Daniel Horowitz is a well-known writer. I mean, he's been in all kinds of different comics and screen. You know what I'm saying? He's been in a lot of different graphic novels.
Yes.
And he's also he went to Yale, Harvard, or something like that, and he got together with the author of Shakespeare's Lady.
Really?
Yeah, and then they travel the world together, and then they send me pictures, and I get really, really sad because I'm stuck in Missouri, in the state of misery. You know, they're like, oh, look, we're in India. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm in my bathroom. Fucking sink's clogged. Like,
Take a picture of the backyard. This is what I see.
this is what I say. This is amazing. Be terrible compared to what you're doing. But he does SEO too. Like, I've been trying to get him to come on, give me little cliplets of, because he's like, does real SEO, not one of those, well, if you just sign up for the Google business and put your business everywhere, it helps you out. That's not how SEO works. Sorry, guy. It helps, but that's not how it works.
Right.
He does like real SEO shit. I kept telling him, I was like, hey man, just give me little voicelet clips. You know what I'm saying? He knows his shit. Me and him talked about it one day. He like really, you know, he like corrected me on a lot of things. He goes, I was wrong. And he was right. And shit changes every year.
Yes.
Well, you could predict the aggregators. No, you can't. That's why they're aggregators, because they're random. Fuck you mean predict them? You pay me $1,000 right now, and that shit, you can make money doing that. $20,000 a month. Like, if you're really good, dude, I ain't up to that level, but fuckers are good, dude. Read the data and stuff. It's the button F12 on my keyboard that pulls stuff that motherfuckers are charging $400 for free. It's like, oh, I just run data on any website. Oh, I'm recording their website. And this is their statistics, and we look at their keywords. Oh, they're looking good, which are metadatas are not doing good. And go to Google metadata. Words and shit. It's stupid. People are dumb, dude. Like, people have to start doing research, and it irritates me. That's why I like podcasting.
If they don't do the research, then they're going to find someone else, and that person is going to pretty much take advantage of them.
A lot of times, there are a few out there, like prime example, Cynthia McGregor.
Yes.
All right, Cynthia McGregor, bro. She's been over 100 books, bro, already, and they're turning her last one, this Rudolph. It's not Rudolph. I don't want to say it's Rudolph. It's terrible. Sorry, Cynthia. Please don't hurt me. But it's a reindeer, and it's left out. It's a kid's book. They're animating it. You know, like, that's a big deal for an author. You know, so she has to be like involved in that process.
Right.
And she's like, oh my god. Yeah, but like, she understood. Like, me and her used to sit there on the phone for like 3 hours and just bitch, like off air, just bitch. Like, we were just recently on each other's show. Like, she was on mine, and then I was on hers. She was on Write It Out Radio, and then I was on In the Spotlight. And then like we just literally just talked about the same. Like, we literally just carried one of our conversation over. Like, what were we talking about the other day? Oh yeah. That's when we saw that body on the side of the road. Her show. But, yeah, it's like people like that who've been in the industry she's been doing it forever, ever and ever. She has over 100 books published. She ghostwrites and doesn't even count those. You know, she's the best editor that I know. One of the best editors that I know. Because Haley's my editor, and she does a pretty good job, too.
Right.
You know, but, like, Haley's not to the public anymore.
Now, is there a difference between, like, ghostwriter, but then, I want to say, pen name? Where it's the author, but they write under something completely, like under a different...
Yeah, difference between a ghostwriter and a pseudonym. Well, it's because the ghostwriter's not the author, period.
Okay.
It's actually a completely different human being. Now, the way the ghostwriter works is that, say you have an idea for a book, right? It's a pretty badass idea. You're like, well, I need a little bit of work. It's in beta right now. It's in marketing. It's in the lab. But I write like a monkey being electrocuted. You know, like, you just don't have... Not everyone can just write. You know what I'm saying? Like, and those who admit that, I respect. Those who just do it anyway and then publish their shit on Amazon because it's fucking free to do that, and then put out 2 million books a year, which is what came out damn near last year, 2 million books, and then everyone wonders why their shit's not a bestseller, tell them to stop it. Tell them to knock it off. Like, oh, is your shit edited? My friend did it. Your friend's a dumbass. Well, here we go. She had the best grades in English. She was a B+. Well, that's not even a great grade. That's not even the best grade. Like, I had a terrible grade in English. I don't edit my own shit.
Right?
Yeah. So I look at it, I'm like, does that look right? So that's what I ask Haley. Does that look right? Does it look like it's spelled right? She'd be like, no, yes, it's not in the right context. Why? That's what she does for a living.
Right.
I looked at it and I was like, the fuck? The fuck did I just write? You know? Writers don't have to be an editor. You know? But writers sometimes just aren't writers. Just have a good idea.
Right.
Thinkers aren't always writers. So you have a great idea. Great concept, great storyline, great way to build it, great characters and all that shit. You put the work in, it's in there rattling. You can't get it on paper.
Yes.
Well, you look for ghostwriters. Fucking tons out there, like Cynthia McFadden. She does ghostwriting. Darcy. Oh, god damn it. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna look her name up. She's really, really good. Darcy. I've been calling her Darcy for years. I don't even know what else to play. Darcy. Darcy Ellen? Darcy Ellis? I don't want to mispronounce her name, but she's really, really good. Darcy Durant. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's French. Darcy Duranceau? Duranceau? It's, let's see. Darcie Duranceau? What it says? My glasses need to be thicker these days. Yeah. Darcie, Darcy. Duranceau. That's Darcy. Like, she ghostwrites. She's been doing it with people like Ask Win. She has a really successful podcast. But, like, she's done a lot of her books. And, like, she's like stacked up. And I've done a lot of work. I've worked with her side by side when we were publishing other people, and she was ghostwriting for them. Dude, she's on point. She's good at her words. Like, her and Cynthia are probably my two favorite I know so far. I mean, there's plenty out there that have a lot of accolades, but they're my two favorite, hands down. You know, you call me biased, but Cynthia's been doing it long enough to where she knows what works and what doesn't. And Darcy's just hella creative and very effective. She's good at making your brain there. And Cynthia's been doing it so long, she makes your brain formatted there. She's also an editor. It's like you're getting like double bang of the buck. And she's so tied to the community, dude. Like, she fucking knows everybody. You know, like, so she's got like good little hookups and stuff. Dude, both of those right there. Cynthia McGregor and Darcy. I'm gonna say Dee Dee. That's it. I'm done. Darcy, badass. Cynthia, badass. But you would go to them, pitch your idea, and then most of them do payment up front. And they try to stay away from royalty because the industry is kind of screwed right now because there's so many books coming out.
Right.
That's no one's really making their nut. Even traditional publishers, like, there's been a lot of requesting to have their publishing rights returned to the author and like a restitution because they're not making the nut that they're promised. So, like, they're getting their advancement. So an advancement is just an advancement. You owe that fucking money back.
Right.
You know, like, that's what that is. And then when you make that back, then you get paid again. You know, it's like, they're not making it past that hurdle. And it's not really all the traditional publishers' faults. You know, some of it is, like, they're not paying attention to how digital marketing's going, how that trend changes, and, like, how to pay attention to where demographics are, how to target them effectively and efficiently without killing your profits and budget. There's a lot of ways to do it. Like we do it all the time. All the time. Our show went from, 0 to almost 1,000 followers in a month. And I don't remember doing shit. You know, we fell off last month.
Right.
All this shit. You guys coming over and new shows and all shit, so we
rearranging
studios and me trying not to stab myself in the ball. But you know what I'm saying? But like, there's you know what I'm saying? Like, the industry is not what it is, so a lot of them do it upfront pay.
right.
You know, like the Tom Clancy Splinter Cell. That's a ghostwritten book. There's a lot of books out there. Let's see. We're gonna actually Google which books are ghostwritten. Someone's Googled this before, huh? 7 books you never know were ghostwritten. Thank you, Reedsy. Reedsy's the baddest platform, too.
Yes, it is.
I like Reedsy. I go to them a lot to look at shit. I'm a huge fan of Reedsy. Throw it up. Alright, let's see. The Babysitter's Club. Ghostwritten. H.P. Lovecraft. Harry Houdini. I knew that. We just did the thing on H.P. Lovecraft. I just did a whole thing on H.P. Lovecraft. Insane, dude's not so potso, bro. I got one of his facts sitting actually like right here. Let's see. That's the wrong one. Because fuck my life. Alright, well, I didn't have it as available as I figured I did. Anyway, dude's crazy. That's another one. Go back and check out the show. Animorphs. What? You know that? Jason Bourne. Robert Ludlum. He's the one that goes for it. See? A new Jason Bourne novel by, there's the name of, whatchamacallit? The guy who paid. Boom. He's lucky, though. He gets his name up there. That's kind of cool. Sometimes they'll credit the guy. Other times they won't. You know what I mean? So, like here.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's the nature of the business. R.L. Stein. Goosebumps.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It says Stein denies using ghosts. I don't know. Nancy Drew, that I knew. But it's crazy, like, there's nothing wrong with using ghostwriters. People are like, oh, if you're using a ghostwriter, you're not an author. No, you're not, but you're also promoting. You also put out a good book. You did something good. You still made it.
Right.
You're part of that process. It's your brain. You know, it's your shit, bro.
Like, you pretty much came up with the plot.
Yeah.
And they're helping you.
Yeah. A pseudonym's just a name you go under other than your own. So, like, instead of me being AR Kaufmann, what I write under, I'll be like Bill Bobob. You know, Mark Twain had a pseudonym. Like, a lot of people.
I know Stephen King. He's got Richard Bachman.
Richard Bachman. Yep. Stephen motherfucking King, bro. Another self-publishing writer.
And then I think he also wrote under another name, but I'm not sure.
I'd love to get him.
I want to say he possibly wrote under also a female's name, but I'm not sure.
I can see that.
I could be wrong there.
He's scared of me. That man makes me want to cry a little bit. It does, bro. It's scary.
Just a little?
Scary human. Scary human.
Yeah.
But, that is a genius. I think his words are just perfect.
Yes.
But, yeah, dude, the book industry is crazy. It's nuts. That's why I love doing it. That's why people are like, why didn't you do because, you know, like, I had other podcasts in the pot before I even launched Write It Out. I had The Fight Effect, did the Fall Mixed Martial Arts, which I've been doing longer than writing. Like, I've been in that sports, in combat sports for way longer. You know, like, oh, I'm not UFC caliber. Not everyone is. You know, like, if I jump in there like Elkins and stuff, like, I'm gonna get beat up. You know, like hey, come here, Alistair Wolverine, I'm gonna kick my fucking head off. No, but you break it down. I know the sport. I've been hanging around. I'm with TCB.
Right.
You You know what I mean? Like Aaron Kimball, the 2-time Golden Glove. You got Mike Harris, BJJ, who's he's a TriStar lineage, which goes back to like Renato DeFares and like their lineage. So like I roll with them, and that's what my original goal was. It was to launch the Fight Effect. But then like I was in publishing, so I was like, I'm just gonna talk about this shit for a little bit. And we launched it as like just a fluke, just to see what the industry was like, just to kind of beta test it. And we haven't launched anything else since. We're just
Really?
doing that. Yeah, Hook Up or Hang Up is going to be the next really big one that we're pushing out. I'm super psyched about that, dude. Like we're gonna be actually at the end of this clip, at the end of this show, we're gonna be doing fun tips.
Fun tips
by she who's the host of the Hook Up and the Hang Up. She hooks up and hangs up. It's actually the whole concept of that's actually pretty cool. The way Hook Up or Hang Up's gonna work, right, is they're under our media group, our Podmom media group.
Yes.
So we'll have an app out, which is a lot like a dating app, right? You come on there, and you'll either be chosen for 2 different positions. You'll be a suitor, or it'd be we call them, I don't know if we stuck with clients because a lot of it's still in beta, but now we're starting to really roll with it.
Yes.
So we have the I don't like the word contestant. It sounds so shitty. Contestant. The contestant, come on down. You know, like it sounds fake. But it's a matchmaking thing, but it's based off of since everything's digitalized, we digitalized it, and we're also going to make it interpersonal with each person. Like if you're decided to like if you're chosen to go on, let's see, but had people asking for the clip of the last show we just put out. Here it is. Hey, can you clip the last show? Go on fucking iTunes and get it. You have an iPhone, bitch. That's my sister. Everybody. It's okay. I don't just call random people a bitch to their face. Gary, I love you. You're a bitch. She's my sister.
Well, with her, she'd have to go to Google.
Oh, I'm on Google Play. I'm on Google Play. Dude, I'm on Spotify.
Because what you do is, like your shows automatically go onto podcast, correct?
Well, a podcast is just a digital wave of it. It's like instead of using like a broadband where I have to have a satellite and pay for the airwaves and shit like that, podcasting is all digitally formatted into a file. It's more mobile. Like that's why I would put it into an MP3. Gives me more chance to edit, cut it, play it, master the sound of it, which is like, well, I got this fancy microphone. I had to spun around for the last month.
We went and almost bought a cord that we didn't need.
Yeah, that happens. I almost spent my... He goes, did you try spinning it around with logos facing you? What? You better repeat that.
You can do that?
Where's my Facebook? So like I'm over here talking about people shouldn't be on just Facebooks and everything. I spelled that wrong. I can't see shit.
Me and you both.
Yeah, I'm wearing my glasses. Okay, just so everyone knows, you should always like, share, subscribe. That's fun. That helps me bring in bills to feed Family Mouths, little people that I made that I am now responsible for feeding. So like, share, subscribe. Always leave a comments. Questions for us. Things you liked about the show. Things you didn't like. Always follow us. If you're on the YouTube, hit that little notification bell. You just gotta tap it. Tap the little notification bell. Don't tap it too hard. It'll press charges. But do that because that's good for me. And we're on iTunes, SoundCloud,
Google.
Google Play stores, 3,000 different ones. Libsyn. We're on. I think we're on iHeartRadio now. Not too sure. No one tells me these things.
Yeah, I've not looked.
I never check that. Man, I'm the worst. They're like, how do you want all these things you know you're on? So, well, fuck you, that's why. That's how I did it, you dickhead. let's see, I can actually tell you what a few more are. I know we're on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes. We are on audio something another. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, TuneIn. It's another one. Should change this thing up. Gotta need to fix this thing.
Twitter.
Yeah, or you're on Twitter, AR_Kaufmann, 2 N's. And Facebook, right.it.out.radio, because that's how we roll, son. Check us out. We're always, watching people post that shit. It's funny. Yeah, so we want to do a huge competition. That's what we want to do. We want to start getting people to submit their little clips of writing to us. And what we want to do is take that, publish it into a book, right, for them, which they get all the stuff for and blah, 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 and,
yes,
put that bad boy out there, get them their copies and shit like that. The winner, we want to do a collaboration with, like a full collaboration, like hands-on, possibly co-write a book with them, with my staff of writing, me, because I've been back into fiction apparently, because nonfiction is just not fun for me anymore, because, whatever. So I'm back into writing murder mysteries and shit like that. But it's not like it costs them a dime, because it shouldn't. It's not how collaborations work, buddy. But take them on and help train them and bring them on. So we're working out the kinks to that. So if you guys got good stories and stuff, or you guys want books you want reviewed, send them down. We'll look over them. We like that stuff. It's kind of our bag. It's our bag. If you get a bag, that would be ours.
That'd be ours.
Look out for the. Oh yeah, it's so off topic. I suck at this. Hook up, hang up. We have a whole system aggregated to where you could be somebody, a contestant or client, as I'm calling them, or a suitor. All of it's going to be geographically placed. There will be background checks because there are some bitches out there,
Yes.
And you will be paired with the person to where you can send them a small clip that we will feed to them, and it will be broadcasted on that show, which would be broadcasted via Facebook Live and through a shit ton of our marketing partners. A lot of them, which is why I was on my ass by the damn app, which is a pain in my ass. But you have that going, and you'll actually be featured on the show. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a cool scenario thing we got going on there. So it's like I don't know, social media dating meets reality shits, and it's all cultivated and contained by us, and it's all through our application, which will be coming out whenever the fuck. We don't have a direct date. We know we're going to be doing the official launch next Friday. That I know. That's in stone.
Next Friday.
So I have a fire under my ass that needs to go, because now I'm smelling ham. I like ham. Actually, I love ham. Black Forest ham. Shit. But yep. So anything you want to leave off on? Let people know who you be.
Continue watching, subscribe, help us get more followers.
That's a good point. Followers help me, America. All right, everybody.
Stacey McFadden, your host of Hook Up or Hang Up, here with your dating tip of the week. If you're going out on your first date to meet somebody, a lot of people think of taking their first date at night and maybe going out to dinner and a movie. Boring. And plus, what if you're there and you're trapped and you can't get out of the date? My dating tip to you, try a date in the middle of the day or maybe earlier in the morning, where if you have to escape, you can say, you've got to go to work, or there's a meeting, or you have an appointment. You don't have to have that awkward phone call an hour into the date. Ring, ring, I need you to come home. Ring, ring, something's come up, when it's your friend really checking on you to see if everything's okay. Try a day date and see how that goes. Plus, the person you're with might think that that's really fun. Why don't you try it out and let me know?